Hey there, Pisces Sun, Pisces Moon, Pisces Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directed. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy of the moon to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. There's cycles that come with that. The reason I'm mentioning this is I've been trying to do your reading a couple times, and the energy is really bouncing all over the place, and I feel like you're on some kind of an emotional roller coaster. So let's just see where this goes. I couldn't make heads or tails out of the last spread at all. It was just really all over the place, and I need a more concise message, and so we'll just see what we get for it. It wasn't positive, it wasn't negative, it was just all over the place, and I couldn't figure it out. So here we go. Let's see what's going on for Pisces. Mercury in retrograde is a real deal. It's in full swing. It is happening in your sign, so I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But it is really affecting the energy of the transmission today with the whole going on. Trying to have less glitchiness, but it's just been horrible. So we're going to cover the second half of your season. By the way, happy birthday to you. And it is March 1st through the 18th that this reading is supposed to be covering, although sometimes we get messages that go out further. Okay, this one looks like it's making a little more sense, so that's good news, because the other one just totally, somebody was having a very okay. It was about transition, and yes, it is about transition. This is about a transition that you may or may not have seen coming. Last time we got the Tower. Those are both Scorpio cards, right? The Tower and the Death card. And it was the aggressive energy of the Tower. And it wasn't the Tower in reverse. It was the upright. And so this is about bringing things in karmically into balance. Ending of a cycle, so the beginning of a new cycle, but the energy and the effort that you put into a situation is going to be rewarded. If it had come in the reverse, it would be much more positive. It would be like you're being rewarded, but here it's like you are being sat in judgment on, probably by yourself. Like, not alone, but you are probably the one sitting in judgment on yourself in a very harsh way, or somebody else is, and there's this need to end this cycle. And we have a couple cards here of an ending of a cycle and a beginning of a new cycle. So we have this one. It's definitely the end of a cycle to begin a new cycle. It's kind of got this energy here of moving forward with spirit, because I don't know if you could see all those barn swallows there, but this is moving forward bravely, and the daylight is coming up. And so I feel like there's been something that's been a little bit difficult, a little bit harsh that you've had to deal with. There's some kind of a reality that something is not the way it used to be. So let's take a look at what we have here. The past, the present, the future, thoughts, feelings, actions. And this card right here is the key to the situation. And this is the Pisces card, right? It's the moon. But the moon here is in the eclipse in Cancer. And this is where you choose. Are you going to choose to follow your spiritual intuition? Or are you going to choose something that is that you can see? Like, so it's the choice that you're making between the seen and the unseen, right? We have that eclipse energy there. Of the new moon in Cancer, which I believe is happening with at 0 degrees of Cancer. It's happening on the solstice coming up on June 21st. And so even though this is supposed to be for right now, this feels very this feels like a cycle that will take a few months to pull it all together, because it feels so major. Because in the area of transformation, you have the ending of a cycle. You have the World card. It is going through the portal and moving forward. In the recent past, the thing you've been anxious about has been the ending of a cycle. But it looks like a cycle in which you choose to end it. See, this way, it's the hand of fate changing it, right? This is where, you don't really have any say in it. Here, I think this is about you deciding whether or not you wanted to change something. And I feel like maybe you took too long to decide, and so Spirit came in and ended it for you. It could have happened that way for you. So, finding your emotional balance becomes really important. So in the recent past, I feel like you were studying and looking at a situation, and was it worth your time and your effort and your resources? Because we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And when she's in reverse, she's looking around at everything that she's worked on, and did it survive, or is it in ruins? And there seems to be a little bit of things that are not, looking fresh and new. Things are kind of falling apart, a little bit. And so, but it's about the assessing process. And so it's up here in the book. The Lenormand card of the book is up here, which is about secrets that have not been revealed, or seeking knowledge. And so it looks like this assessing of a situation, and was it everything that you thought it was going to be? In the recent past, the obstacle has been trying to figure out what it is that you're passionate about. Where do you want to offer your emotional energy? That's been kind of a question for you, either in a relationship or in a project, because it could be a creative project. And I say that because over here in the thoughts going forward, we have this fired up Page of Wands, which is relying on the right conditions, being surrounded by people that care, not negative energy, in order to feel safe and secure to move forward. So they're kind of hiding in the dark, feeling a little unsure. And so there's this energy of, were you afraid to put an idea out there because you didn't know how it would be received, and maybe you need to let it go and move on? Or was it a relationship that you weren't sure where it stood? But here, you are looking very emotional and balanced, very much in charge of who you are. And don't forget to have some fun, because we've got the dolphin here, which is very significant about a soul connection, about having fun, about connecting at a very deep level. In the heart space, moving forward, you have the Queen of Swords. I never really like to see the Queen of Swords in the heart space, except when I'm talking to, I don't know, you Pisces. Because so often you guys get so deep into your emotional waters that you practically drown. And here she is above that. She is way above the clouds, right? And she's got the sword of truth there. And so I feel like there's been a situation where you have risen up out of the emotional waters, and you have moved toward the land, and then you kept climbing to the part where you're like, okay, now I can see this situation clearly, and I know what it is that I'm looking for and what I'm trying to create here. And the outcome is just beautiful. What is the Strength card? It is you managing you. You managing a situation, you managing and knowing through patience and through love and care and understanding where it is that you're going. And so this transformation, it's happening. I think you had a lot of doubts about it, but it's happening. And you allowing it to happen is really the key to creating the transformation, and staying emotionally balanced as you go. And keeping things in perspective. Keeping things in perspective. When situations happen that affect us emotionally, we are not our emotions. We experience our emotions, but we are not our emotions. And it is okay to experience your emotions, and I recommend experiencing your emotions, but you need to allow your emotions to flow through you like you are a sieve, a colander, the thing where you drain the spaghetti through it, right? Where the water pours in and then it pours on out. Allowing it to flow through you is really going to be important. Don't let it be bottled up. But at the same time, you want to rise above the emotions, right? You want to be the spaghetti that's left in the strainer afterwards, right? Oh, here you go. Make plans and focus. This young lady has shown up for several signs. It seems to be a real thing. And I know this energy is kind of with Mercury in retrograde in a water sign makes it really hard. And with it in your sign going on makes it even harder. And so to focus on the future, right? Do they look a lot alike to you? Because they do to me. It is focusing on where it is that you're going and what it is that you want. Make a plan and focus on that, and not drowning in your emotions. This looks really, actually very positive, because she's coming up out of the water. He's very emotionally balanced. You're going to, I believe, impress yourself. and maybe some people around you when you're like, hey, I got this together, man. I didn't fall apart, even though the situation wasn't exactly the way I wanted it to go. Still, I managed it. Oh, yeah, transformation. Transformation, 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 transformation. Lots of transformation happening here, and an eclipse, which is about transformation. And so it says, I'm sorry, surrender to a transformation in your life that is happening for your highest good. Embrace the transformation. The best is yet to come. So seeing things from a higher perspective and staying emotionally balanced and digging deep for that strength looks really positive and really good, Pisces. So whatever this transformation is, it needed to happen. And so allow it to happen. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. Crawfish. It says, shedding the old. There is a change coming your way. Cultivate a sense of adventure so that you will be able to see these new prospects. And in case you didn't know, there's a change coming. Change. There's 5 cards. And then we have resilience. And this is you being resilient, right? You have resilience. There is no need to rush or push. This is a time to take things as they come. You have the determination and the patience to handle what is happening. You have the determination and the patience to handle what is happening. Transformation is happening, Pisces. It just really is. And you can do this. It's going to take patience, and it's going to take believing in yourself and believing that this is working the way it's supposed to. It is a blessing. And transformation doesn't always feel like a blessing, but I'm looking at these cards and it definitely, it's positive. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. So, step into your superpowers of, patience. Have empathy and care for yourself. Treat yourself well through this transformation. Be nice to yourself. Just don't drown in your emotions, and keep your head above the water. And look at this. You have awaken your empathy, turquoise. And I feel like this is the empathy for yourself. Maybe for the situation, but for yourself. So take care of yourself. Be gentle to yourself. Be kind to yourself, but don't wallow in misery. Okay, that is not treating yourself right. And listen to how you speak to yourself. Right. So use words of positive affirmation. I'm capable of handling whatever is on my plate. I have more than enough help. I have more than enough guidance, and there is always more than enough abundance in all forms in my life. And talk to yourself that way. And don't get down on yourself, and you will find this ends up being a very successful transformation for you. So the key is going to be focusing on the plan you make and having patience. So do those things, and I will talk to you soon in 2 weeks. Look forward to it. You take care of yourself.